The Edmonton Eskimos have a bye this week in the Canadian Football League, but team members are still on the road. Executives are touring northern communities to get input on the team's name. They talked with residents in Yellowknife and Inuvik. Some people they spoke with say the name reflects the toughness of northern Indigenous people. Others find the term racist and say it harkens back to less enlightened times. Team officials will also be going to Nunavut at a future date. Susie Napayuk does not like the team name. She is the acting chair of the Yellowknife Inuit Association and joins me now. And so, Susie, the Eskimos are concluding this part of their trip, and you wanted to meet with the team president, Len Rhodes, but you weren't able to. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. Yes, we looked for them yesterday. We Facebooked each other, and we couldn't find any information as to where they were located in Yellowknife, so we never did get to see them or talk to them at all.
Do you have any sense of who they did speak with?
I haven't made any contact with anyone that they've actually spoken to. I know CBC staff went to the Larga Patients boarding home to interview two other women besides myself, and I went to the studios in CBC here in Yellowknife. We never saw them. We never found them.
That seems unusual. I mean, here you are. You're the acting chair of the Yellowknife Inuit Association. It would seem to me that you would be an obvious person to meet with and speak to.
Yes, it seems that way, but none of us knew where to reach them, and I called a few of the hotels, and they couldn't tell us, and neither would CBC types that I called after my interview, because I thought we might be able to reach them over the 2 or 3 days that they were here to consult with the Inuit of Yellowknife.
So what would you, if you were able to meet them, what would you say to the president of the Edmonton Eskimos about the team name? What would you say?
Well, there's a lot involved, and firstly, there's a great divide about people who approve and who don't approve of the Edmonton Eskimos title. I, for one, do not agree with it because I don't know of any other teams, either here in Canada or even in the States, actually, that give their teams race names, human beings names for their teams. I've heard of the BC Lions, that apparently the Edmonton Eskimos will play on Friday, and I'm hopeful the Eskimos will win against the Lions. But there's the conflict, because every team is after something they admire as a wildlife species, or you have the Montreal Alouettes. Apparently, I learned the word Alouettes means lark in their French language, but you don't hear about other people, other races being named for teams. But there's an exception for the Inuit, and I quite disagree with that.
And remind us why you find the term Eskimos offensive, why that would be offensive to many Inuit.
I think everyone knows already that it was a Cree word for raw meat eaters. And I know that Inuit aren't particularly offended with it anymore, just because we've sort of outgrown it as we've progressed. But we are Inuit, and people don't usually know what Inuit or Inuk for one means. It means human beings or people. And that's who we are. We see ourselves as people. And it's just a label that's outdated. I'm sure when the Edmonton Eskimos got created in 1949, at the time, we Inuit had no rights as Canadian citizens. We didn't even get to vote till the 60s. And so it reflects an old-time way of thinking, where some of us are lawyers, some of us are doctors, and, we are part of this country. And I'm sure the French people would be insulted if we came up with a team, let's say in Yellowknife, and we called them the Yellowknife Francophones, and they play soccer. You know, it's kind of silly, don't you think?
That's definitely an argument that we hear a lot. I just want to let you know, Susie, that a representative of the team, because we got in touch with the team to try and figure out why they didn't meet with you, and they said that they did not mean to neglect you, that they will visit again. So, do you expect, though, that the Edmonton Eskimos, that they will change the team name? Do you think that this will happen?
No, I don't think they'll do it for a while yet because of the way the systems work. And I also read from the cabin radio interview I did last night that the Edmonton Eskimos marketing and communications officer indicates they don't plan to change it if they can help it. So I think it's going to be a bit of time.
All right. Well, Susie, we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Susie Napoyuk is the acting chair of the Yellowknife Inuit Association.